He put it in bright neon over the door next to the name of the place. The neon blared, "Pay what you wish." Customers called it the cafeteria of the Golden Rule. In its first 90 days, it served 10,000 free meals.
Okay.
Are you starting to see where his dad had problems with the business plan?
No, this is a terrible business model. The idea that you put it, like, it would be one thing if you just had, like, a low-down policy that some people knew about, but to be like, you just pay what you want.
Everybody eats.
Don't worry.
No money.
Oh, you don't have any money? Well, here's more.
Money's not a thing here.
Hey, hon, let's crunch those numbers. How we looking? What do you mean we're in the red?
We lost $9 million.
Well, how is that possible? Well, it's the Great Depression, and you'll serve anyone.
Author Ray Bradbury is said to have taken advantage of the policy, and Charles Bukowski mentions the restaurant in a novel.
Well, I mean,
That's
that's
not a
cool,
good
but that's
sign.
not going to put money in your pocket.
If Bukowski mentions you in anything, it's not a good sign. Like, he was like eating rats and drinking whiskey on a street corner.
Yeah. That's very true.
I mean,
it's not. You don't want a quote from him on your fucking storefront.
There's nothing that can make you feel dirtier in the world.
I feel right at home here, Bukowski.
You can throw up on the tables and shit. I took a dump in the kitchen, Bukowski.
I slapped his wife and got waffles. You can literally do whatever the fuck you want here.
I gave myself a whiskey enema in the kitchen. Bukowski review of Clifton Cafeteria.
I lit it on fire. I'm a part owner.
But Clifford Clifton's cafe was incredibly successful.
That sounds like a Dr. Seuss line right there.
It was, and he was on his way to becoming one of the city's wealthiest restaurant owners. So people because he was giving away food, other people must have thought that was good and just started eating there and paying.
But even then,
I don't know how it worked either, but he made tons of money. It doesn't make any sense,
yeah.
but he made a shitload of money.
Okay. I think I believe in God.
And he became the city's most powerful restaurant owner.
What?
He basically invented the New Deal before the New Deal was invented. He was like giving away, and at the same time,
Yeah.
he was making
Profit,
money.
right?
Because he wasn't a regular restaurant. Like if he was helping people, then you would go, well, I'll go fucking help that. I'll go pay for it if I can afford it.
It must be that, right? It must be that people just sort of paid it forward a little bit.
Right. I think that's exactly what happened. So Clinton's wisdom was on display on every table in a weekly newsletter called Food for Thought, which aired, among other things, complaints from dissatisfied customers about greasy trays or cold coffee, followed by Clinton's mea culpas or defense. Food for
Defense I like way better.
Yeah. Why don't you go fuck yourself? We're really busy today. I'm sorry. Are we serving 10,000 people for free? I'm sorry, your coffee was cold.
Maybe you just don't know what cold is. Get out.
As Jesus said, oh, you're going to complain about your free food? Go fuck yourself. Jesus Christ said that. Food for Thought also broached more serious issues. Clinton's integrated dining room drew praise from many, but not all. Quote, I have always liked Clifton's, one letter from 1944 began, but yesterday 2 Negroes came and sat at my table. After that, the food tasted like sawdust. Okay, first of all, that's not what happens to food.
Yeah.
That's not
That's the magical power. This is dust.
Every time black people come near my eggs, it
Yeah.
turns into wood.
No, it's terrible. Oh no, don't walk by my eggs. Oh, damn it.
Fucking shit.
I mean, I just paid nothing for that. Good Lord.
Clinton responded that he would not violate Christianity, the Constitution, and his own conscience by treating blacks as second class.
See, that really is amazing.
Right, this guy's
That
a
is
fucking
amazing because even at that time it was to be. I always wonder what would I be like in that time
Yes.
period. And you have to think that your mind is independent, but you're also in a society.
You grew up in a way
Yeah.
where you're taught to believe a certain way,
And then
so the
when-
people who. But he's Christian, so a true Christian
But even
doesn't see
then-
color.
Yeah,
They
but
don't.
even, but then you
I know.
think about a lot-
You
I
think
mean,
about the South, and you go, wait a minute.
Most religions.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh, there are plenty of people using religion to justify slavery.
Mormons
I mean,
didn't think black people were real until the 70s.
They still don't.
Well, I mean, they still don't, right?
I mean, they
still
did.
don't.
They did while the Utah Jazz played there. For a
Right,
few
they
years.
acknowledged. Right, they acknowledged them then. They were like, we just talked to God and He loves the Jazz.
I guess we gotta believe in the black people because they can have a basketball team.
Okay.
They still had a lot of white guys on that team.
Oh yeah.
He said, if colored skin is a passport to death, if colored skin is a passport to death for our liberties, then it is a passport to Clifton's. He's a
All
good
right.
guy.
Yeah.
This guy's a fucking saint.
Yeah.
The lowliest employee had a stake in the company, which was run by two voting boards, one of rank and file and the other of managers. Clinton's manual of operations stipulated a fully paid medical plan for his workers, something which was
Jesus.
completely unheard of at the time. He also let all of his employees come by and swim in his pool in his Los Feliz home whenever they wanted.
Jesus.
So this guy's just...
Yeah.
This guy is Christ.
Yeah.
Within a year, he had opened a second cafe where every meal cost just 1 cent.
All right, I am really waiting for the fucking bottom to drop here because this is what's happening.
The local powers...
He must have a genie.
The local powers that be were furious.
Of course, right?
Quote, we have been severely condemned for our operation of the penny, stated a Clifton brochure, which listed among the complaints the fear that, quote, it would cause more drifters to remain in our city. So now we're talking about
Yeah.
now we're back to the vagrants.
Yeah.
This was a time
We
when
got to deal with them.
this was a time when the Dust Bowl was raging.
Oh boy.
So, people who don't know what the Dust Bowl is, in I want to say the 20s. I don't know what
Dust
year.
Bowl
I don't know what
squad.
year it was, but it hit big in like 29, I think. But so, in the Midwest, they just had poor planning for farming, and they didn't exactly know how to do the soil. And then a drought hit, and just dust storms were covering everything. Dust went all the way from like Oklahoma. Storms went to New York. Like, it was just horrifying.
That woman at the restaurant blamed it on black people.
Well, it was the
Right.
black people because
Midwest.
they were near her eggs.
Turned the crops into sawdust. Ma'am.
They're not witches.
Ma'am. They're devils. Look at my eggs.
That's those are eggs.
Look at them. Sawdust.
I see eggs.
I mean, I see eggs too.
Okay.
But eat them.
No.
Eat this.
Okay.
Terrible, isn't
No,
it?
they taste really good. They taste like
they're-
eggs.
well, that's because they've been gone for a few minutes. Now they've turned back into eggs.
Okay. I would like you.
It's a proximity thing. Oh, God.
California for a long time excelled at curbing migrant and immigration of undesired populations. California has historically banned undesired migrants from its borders, including the Chinese in the late 19th century, the Japanese in the early 20th century, the Mexicans at the onset of the Great Depression. Anti-Chinese sentiment had existed in California since the mid-18th century. It was believed that the Chinese were, quote, demoralizing and a degradation to California's people,
Yep.
and that they were dangerous to the community.
Yep.
The Chinese Exclusion Act...
They've always been very offensive.
Oh
around
my
here.
God, it's horrifying. It's just unbelievable.
A little too apologetic sometimes.
Yeah, and I don't like the sauces that they put on some of the
Well,
green beans.
the problem is, Dave, that the culture's bled into your mind, and your mind is poison.
Right, and then they use.
But I will say-
and they use like a lot of dark chicken meat,
Yeah.
which I'm not really into.
Yeah, weird.
and
Yeah.
I don't like duck.
No, that's why we should have. That's why we round them up into camps for a little while, right?
Right,
In California.
because
That's
they were using dark chicken meat.
that's fair.
Use the breast.
It's a good time.
Um,
It's the breast.
The Chinese Exclusion Act, passed by the federal government in 1882, barred Chinese immigration.
Night, Mom, I
and
love
prevented
you.
the naturalization
Hey,
of the Chinese.
Mom,
who
is
were
there
already
any bottles of
America.
water in the fridge?
Fresno Republic reported, quote, Japanese coolie immigration is of the most undesirable class of
Can you throw one
people
down to me?
possible. So that's just a
Nice.
a newspaper.
That's just a nice thing. Yeah.
Headline: Japanese people are terrible.
Extra, extra.
Loading
we hate the
screen. Uh-oh.
Japanese.
So, David Kearney, earlier advocate of Chinese exclusion, said in 1892 that, quote, Japs being brought here now in countless numbers to demoralize and discourage our domestic labor market and to be educated at our expense. Which actually, if you took Japs out of there and you replaced it with Mexicans, my dad would say that.
Well, here's what's amazing: is we just did the Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah.
So it's really amazing
Yeah.
how the white Americans quickly took another culture off of it, and then we're like, no culture's allowed. What do you think this is? Can't just come onto some land you don't know about and just make yourself at home.
This is our land that we took a couple hundred years ago.
We've had this for a little while now.
And what are you Mexicans doing here that live here for centuries?
You know how fucked up it would be to hurt us for land?
Get out of your land that's now our land, okay? You get
This
it?
land is our land. I mean, it's my land.
At the onset of the Great
need a
Depression,
diamond
the federal government
shovel.
sponsored and supported the mass expulsion of Mexican immigrants. It was also reported that a total of 3,492 Mexicans left on repatriation trains from San Bernardino between 1931 and 1933.
Wait, so they were just.
Repatriation, we were just taking their land and shipping them back. Good time. But now the problem
Did they serve a meal on the train?
With like
I-
efficiency million.
Now the problem was white people. The Dust Bowl,
Finally.
the Dust Bowl was raging in the Midwest, and the Okies were coming. Many Los Angeles residents saw, quote, Okies to be a menace to their community. The migrants were seen as culturally inferior to Angelinos and were distinguished as a separate and alien social group.
I mean, I love this.
John Steinbeck conveyed the negative connotation of the term Okie in his Grapes of Wrath. Quote, well, Okie used to mean you was from Oklahoma.
Hello, Mama.
Now it means you're a dirty son of a bitch. Okie means you're scum.
Hey, what's up, Saint
Don't
Wolf?
mean nothing itself. It's the way
Hold
they
on, let me
say
put
it.
my headphones on, and then the
Love
echo will
that.
go away.
Love it.
Love forced racism against
So-
other white people.
So great.
How are we gonna figure out who to hate? They're all white.
All right, here's what we do. We lay out a plate of eggs.
All right, that should be better
tastes
now.
like sand.
Now you should have
You know
no
there's an
echo.
Okie around. You know
You
there's
should
an
have
The
100%
population,
real
the popularity of
James.
Eugenics at the time also contributed to the stigmatized image of the Okie. The eugenic claim that rural isolation and poverty were hallmarks of hereditary inferiority marked the Okies as lesser
Certainly.
than.
How you doing? Welcome to the
This is
stream.
great.
My name is
Well,
Gentleman
some people
Games.
do- some
Today we're
people
playing
do
Minecraft on a
dog
server.
on eugenics.
This
It's
server is
fucking
made out of
insane.
dreams and love.
So they just were straight up like, we're better than everybody.
Yeah.
So about
What a great people.
Yeah. So about 350,000 Dust Bowl refugees flooded the state.
We're also
They
listening
were
to
promptly
history
stereotyped
podcasts.
exactly as a racial minority. They were considered
Yeah.
shiftless and lazy and irresponsible and had too many children. And if we improve the labor camps and put a table in, they would chop it up and use it for kindling. There were signs at theaters reading Negroes and Okies go upstairs.
That's
Jesus Christ. Californians quickly applied degenerative traits to this migrating class and could easily distinguish themselves as culturally superior. The Okies were seen as ignorant, shifty, and incestuous, while Angelinos considered themselves educated, progressive, and Christian.
Yum. Yum, yum, yum.
Uh,
Okies and
nope.
Negroes upstairs.
About a
so they, I mean,
week,
if you were
maybe
an Okie,
week
you
half.
must have been like down with like black people. You must have been like
you
cool,
would think, right?
Yeah.
But generally, when that happens,
Or was it like the Warriors?
generally when that generally when that happens, those two groups fight each other. I mean, that's historically the way it's happened in America.
Why, thank
is
you,
when,
good sir.
When, like the Irish and the blacks are competing for the same job or on the same level, then they kill each other in the streets.
It's what I call the Jerry Springer theorem.
Ah.
Yeah, like the guy's cheating on his wife with this other girl. You bring out the other girl. Nobody hits the dude. The two women just beat the shit out of each other. All right?
And that, ladies and gentlemen, sums up America.
I'll see you at the Smithsonian.
What's happening in the Smithsonian today? Oh, Gareth Reynolds is doing a speech
man-
on his Springer theory.
A man who should not be on the stage
This
is on the stage.
texture pack, I
So then
believe,
these-
is
then the
Flows
other chick
HD.
comes out, and they start fighting.
Wait, I fucked up
And
the
that's
name.
what happened in New York
I
during the
should've-
Civil War.
I should have written more of this down. Dave?
I'm in the audience.
At the time, there were groups established to create tourism in Southern California. One of those was the All Year Club of Southern California.
Sure.
Which I guess would be the AYCSC. The Great
Catchy.
Depression and the Dust Bowl provided a challenge for tourist clubs of California. Southern Californians were worried that the All Year Club would increase the number of job seekers because it's better to starve in the sun than in the snow or the
Yeah.
dust. So The All Year Club decided to change their advertising focus from enticing tourists to discouraging people from relocating to the area.
It's an amazing marketing strategy. We need to make it look shit.
Okay, so here's one of their advertisements. Quote, come to Southern California for a glorious vacation. Advise others not to come seeking employment lest they be disappointed. But for the tourist, attractions are unlimited.
That's
Pumpkin
catchy.
pie is best pie. Everybody has some.
You're not gonna forget that jingle.
I would love to hear it too. Come to Southern California for a glorious vacation. Advise others not to come seeking employment lest they be disappointed. But for the tourist, attractions are unlimited.
Like how did nobody say we could cut that in half?
Hey guys, I think that's wordy.
It's a little long and it shifts, which is strange for a slogan. There's a turn. There's two turns.
It's really confusing. I want to go to California, but I'm scared.
Okay, well, we're going to California, but don't go there seeking employment.
Yeah.
However,
I don't
are
know why we
excited for
don't
some of
have
the
apple
attractions.
pie and why that wasn't the first pie
What
in
are we
the
doing
game.
for spring?
The LAPD began arresting and jailing Okies on vagrancy charges. Many were often fingerprinted and deported to the state line. The
Now,
vagrant-
vagrancy is really just a way of just being able to arrest them, right? Just because
you
they're
make a law against poor people.
So-
They don't have a place to actually stay,
Right,
so,
so-
if they can't prove they live anywhere, you can just arrest them and get rid of them.
that's just that's the way to get rid of the lower class
Yes.
easily.
The vagrancy laws which declared that every person who roams about from place to place without any lawful business is a vagrant and is punishable by a fine not exceeding $500 or by imprisonment in the county jail not exceeding 6 months, or both.
So it
So
used
you-
to be illegal to chill.
So you find
Hey,
the guy
days.
without a house.
Yeah.
That's the best way to go about
PM
things is to
me
find the,
on
find the
Discord
homes.
and I'll send you the
'Cause
IP.
then they can dig their way out of it.
Where's
Yeah,
your house?
apple pie is
I don't have one.
superior in
Oh,
every
well,
way
Here's
to
this
pumpkin
ticket.
pie.
What are you talking about?
Get out of this town.
Here's a ticket for 500. What are you gonna do now? Well, now I'm double homeless.
Yeah. No, I'm fucked. Well, you're under arrest for being fucked. Wait, what?
Don't listen to
That's a big
Chris.
fine.
He says he spends
Get outta
lies.
here.
What is that? A tier?
Yeah.
There's another one.
That's
Write them
right.
up. You keep at it, buddy.
Yeah.
Keep it what?
Oh, begging, are we? Not in this zone.
After the Chamber of Commerce suggested they open up hard labor camps in Southern California,
Great.
Maybe.
Great.
business people.
But
Chamber of
still, I
Commerce
feel
always
like that would
great
just
ideas.
mean
At
that
least now
apple
we
pie's
hide the
benefit
bullshit.
would be
Right?
better or
And
something,
then you
higher
could just, like, go to
satiation
the
or
town
something.
center and just be like, we should,
I need to make a mod that the
exterminate this
only
race.
thing it
Be
does
like,
is
well,
add in
we're
the
gonna
way
vote later.
you make pie crust
do a
with
vote
wheat,
later.
and you make apples,
Davis
and you need a bucket of
decided
water,
upon
and
another
it makes
plan,
an
what
apple
became
pie.
known as the Bum Blockade.
Good.
He sent
Catchy.
136 LAPD officers to the border of Arizona, Oregon, and Nevada. Their orders were to turn back all immigrants with no visible means of support. The Los Angeles Times favorably compared Chief Davis
Yeah, mama.
to England's 16th century Queen Elizabeth, who, quote, launched the first war on bums.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, that's news to me.
Did you not know?
Yeah, I
the
can do
war on
11
bums?
o'clock.
She had a war on bums?
They had a big vagrancy.
In England, I would imagine there was a lot of snickering when that war got announced.
That was a lot of the people that ended up on the boats.
They,
going to America.
changed
They
what
would,
these trees
they would
look
arrest
like.
vagrants and put
See
them
what
on the
happens.
And also
See what happens when you get
have
started.
underneath
What
them.
happens?
In answer to
Is this a
charges that the
harvestable
blockade was
block?
an outrage, the Los Angeles Times
Nope.
editorialized, "Let's have more
Yeah?
outrages." Because the Los Angeles Times
Which
was
one?
like a crazy
Yeah.
asshole rich uncle that you had, as opposed to a newspaper.
Let's
Yeah,
have
it's
more
antimicrobial.
outrages?
Yes. People were like, "This is outrageous. Let's have more outrages."
You can harvest it with silk touch.
Can't
Yes.
even fathom that sentence. Let's have more outrages.
Yeah. Oh, the newspaper's gone completely
Well,
batshit
I'll
crazy.
tell you what, I'm not reading this shit anymore. Oh, look, here's an
Yeah, it's
advertisement.
Bruce.
We should vacation in
Except
California.
I haven't
We just
seen
can't
any of the
tell
super
anyone
tall
we know to
spruces
stay
like
here
this.
and
We
seek
only had the small
employment.
spruces.
After a couple of months, Davis was forced to end the
I need to go up
blockade
to the
due
top and
lawsuits
start
and a shortage of
Cutting
funding.
it down.
Meanwhile, Clifford Clinton was enraging people by offering free meals.
Oh my God.
So he's like a pure angel compared to everything else that's going on. We have a white knight in the
Yes.
town. You know, so I promise not to ruin this guy. This will be the guy. I'm not going to ruin this guy.
No,
I promise.
Dave,
I promise.
David,
Yes.
here's the thing about you.
Right.
Is that you're lying and you're glad to do it because no, there's gonna be a fall for
Ooh.
he's gonna Somebody's gonna get their greasy fucking paws on him, and something's gonna. Yeah. No, I can even tell by your fucking face. Yes. I'll go as far as to say the next thing you say is gonna be fucked up.
No, it's not that bad.
It is awful.
By the end, no, this is a good thing. By the end of the decade, those in LA politics would call him Dictator Clinton and Der Los Angeles Führer and equate him with Stalin. But that's a good thing because
That
in
is a
LA
good
politics,
thing, yeah.
people are monsters.
Yes.
Besides his plan to save the world from hunger, he also wanted to save LA from traffic and crime and social ills.
I'm
I didn't
waiting
say
for
anything
it.
bad.
I'm waiting for it.
In 1935, LA County Supervisor John Anson Ford asked Clinton to investigate food operations at County General Hospital. Ford thought Clinton's business success, his communitarian beliefs,
Nope,
and
no
his
mods,
robust defense
pure
of
vanilla.
them made him the right man for the job, and he was right. City government had descended into a cesspool of influence peddling kickbacks, protection rackets, police intimidation,
building
and
a little
shakedowns
camp
of
over
public
here.
Employees. Under Mayor Frank Shaw, everything at City Hall was openly from sale, from building permits to jobs with the LAPD.
Good.
City contracts were awarded without competitive bidding.
Good.
People in city government were paid to use designated contractors, and large industries were solicited for bribes in return for the Shaw administration sponsoring of legislation designed to drive their smaller counterparts out of business.
Perfect.
I,
Set up for success. Let's win.
I've missed vanilla
Meanwhile,
Minecraft a
Frank's
lot,
brother Joe was selling the LAPD jobs.
so I haven't played
promotions
Minecraft.
right out
Like
of
I
City
haven't
Hall.
sat down
So
and
it's-
actually
that's what's-
played
okay.
Minecraft
Of course,
in probably
the food
about 2
operations
years.
at County General Hospital were no different. So Clinton's final report was shocking. Patients were being served low-grade food, which was often spoiled, while waste and favoritism were costing the county $120,000. So Clinton
Sounds about right,
so
yeah.
here's Clinton.
He's doing
he
good.
Did his job. Now Clinton was really on the radar of the powers that be. All of a sudden, Clinton's cafe was hit with random health inspection and food poisoning complaints. Clinton was furious. Now this is the thing where his dad comes in, where his dad said, "You know, you're fired." This is where
Yeah.
he's like, "Fuck you."
Okay.
Don't fuck.
I'm the
this-
same
that's
thing
where you
though,
got the
Chris.
don't
Like,
fuck with
So
me.
are
if
you-
I'm not playing
he
with
is
other
gonna be
people,
preserved,
it
this
gets
man?
boring.
He vowed to fight back.
Okay.
In 1937, he got an LA County supervisor, John Ashton Ford, who got him the original job,
Yeah.
the inspection thing. He got him to appoint him to the county grand jury.
Okay.
Now, the county grand jury was a bit of a wild card in Los Angeles. Each year, the county's 50 judges would appoint 19 people to the jury, and the jury would have leeway to investigate any wrongdoing in the county. It was maybe the one thing in Los Angeles at the time that could actually push change.
All right.
But most of the people on the grand jury were appointed by crooked judges, and they wanted nothing to do with what Clinton was up to.
Good.
But Clinton had the power of the people on his side. He rallied Los Angelinos and forced Mayor Shaw to let Clinton create a committee of his own to examine vice in LA.
Oh, no worries, Saints.
Now,
Right.
at this point, it's an open.
need him.
At this point, it's an open secret. So when
I
Shaw
honestly,
does that,
I
he's
haven't
like,
done
"Yeah, go
much.
ahead, tell everybody
Like
whatever
this
he
week
knows."
is the most
Have a
I
good
think I've
time, you
probably
fucking
streamed in the last year
chef
anyway.
bitch.
Ended up
Hey,
going through a
chef, go
divorce,
fuck
moving
yourself.
home, yada
Yeah,
yada,
you can
getting a
have your little
full-time
thing.
job, quit streaming
So
for a
Clinton hired an
long
investigator
time.
named Harry Raymond.
Now I'm just doing it because why not?
Okay.
Harry Raymond.
It's just something to do.
We like him.
That's
Harry
why
had been a
I'm
private
more or less
investigator
just
since he was
quiet now.
forced to resign from the LAPD.
If I have something to say, I say it.
right.
Otherwise, we're just hanging out, playing
Like
video
standing in
games,
the
and
bushes,
chilling
that's
together.
moving.
Wait.
While they set up a honeypot thing. He was one of the 4 guys. I don't know what's happening. It's like a fucking Elroy novel.
He's perfect.
Yeah, he's great. So
Honey pot.
he investigated, and Clinton's investigated revealed 600 brothels, 1,800 bookies, and 300 gambling houses, which was fine. Everybody knew that. But Shaw had made a horrible error. Clinton now had the resources to continue investigating. He could use the committee and his investigator to expose the bribery, kickbacks, and systematic abuse that flourished at City Hall and the LAPD.
Okay.
But the grand jury refused to publish the report.
Of course.
Although Clinton had an ally in Judge Fletcher Bowen, who remember that was the judge from earlier
No,
that they were
Yeah.
spying
Generic
on
B.
and fucking with.
If
Yeah.
you watched
So he
Generic B
overruled
back in the
grand
day,
jury,
Ah.
and the report was published.
Okay.
B
The report
00,
was scathing.
those
It
guys.
found that underworld profits
Yeah, I
were
used to
being used
play on
finance
the Gang Z
campaigns
server
of
with
city
them.
and county officials in vital positions. In exchange, local officials from all 3 of the principal law enforcement agencies in the county, the district attorney's office, the sheriff's department, and the LAPD work in complete harmony and never interfere with the activities of important figures of the underworld. Grand jury foreman John Bauer called Clinton public enemy number one.
As he should be. This guy's terrible.
Hey, there's some fucking do-gooder in here fucking everything up.
I mean, that really tells you what a great world
That makes
you're in.
sense.
I know, he's public enemy
He's
number
public
one.
enemy number one.
Hey, this guy's revealing all the bullshit we're doing.
Get him out of here.
Public enemy, you motherfucker. He derided him as the cafeteria kid, and the LA Times followed suit. The LA Times, because he was exposing massive corruption,
Right.
called him public enemy number one.
Media. That's great, right?
That's when things got ugly. A notary named Frank Angelillo appeared before the grand jury to testify that the grand jury foreman was a Shaw crony. So now...
Oh, is that a
now
waterlogged
Clinton
baby
is turning
zombie
it
back there?
on the grand jury foreman who called him public enemy number one. So that night, the grand jury foreman, the district attorney, and a squad of LAPD detectives
No.
showed up at the notary's house and beat the living shit out of him.
Jesus.
And he was hospitalized. Then, on the night of October 28th, 1937, a bomb exploded in the basement of Clifford Clinton's home.
Yeah, drowned zombies.
Miraculously, no one was hurt. After a brief investigation, the LAPD said the bomb was planted by Clinton himself to get more publicity.
Can you fucking imagine how awkward it is when the cops come to investigate the
Yeah.
bomb they put in your basement?
Hey, so we went downstairs and we think you did this yourself.
Yeah, I figured you'd
Yeah,
think that. Get
and
the fuck out.
Spectres or whatever they're
Yeah,
called
I
are
think
a
we might
really
arrest
cool
ya.
mechanic as well.
Well, you're under arrest for bombing your own basement.
Nice try, publicity seeker.
Our fingerprints. You're under arrest.
Unfortunately, a car was seen speeding away from the scene that had license
His car.
plates. That had license plates that tied it to the LAPD's intelligence division.
Yeah,
They-
the weird
they used
flying
the cop
things.
car.
They're really,
They're so stupid.
really.
That's the intelligence division that used a cop car.
The squad.
to bomb a house.
Phantoms,
Put different
yeah.
plates on, or steal one. Get one of the stolen fucking cars. That are...
Take bikes, for fuck's sake. It's a bomb. Good God. Well, let's take the cop car down there and bomb him.
2.5 months later, on the morning of January 14th, 1938, Clinton's private detective Harry Raymond started up his car and it exploded. Turns out, after Raymond had dug up all of the evidence linking the Shaws and the LAPD to the underworld, instead of turning it over to Clinton, the first thing he tried to do was blackmail them all.
Oh my God. I mean, listen. I like it. I support the move. He's like, yeah. I'll be right back. I'm still digging. Hey,
Hey guys.
guys,
I gotcha.
I'm about to put a bomb in your basement.
Oh. Have you heard of the Blackmail Squad?
It's just a bunch of black dudes.
Okay. Now his car blew up.
Yeah.
Raymond survived,
Good.
despite suffering 186 shrapnel wounds.
Oh, shit.
He took his story to the Los Angeles Examiner and placed the blame on LAPD Captain Earl Kinnett, who's been spying on Raymond. So this guy was spying on him.
Yeah.
But so he knew he was spying on him, blah, blah. Because it was such a big story with connections to Clinton, right after the Clinton bombing, the DA was forced to open an investigation. In a letter to Senator Hiram Johnson, Chamber of Commerce Director Frank Doherty described the situation, quote, "A near psychopathic district attorney is investigating a crooked police department."
There it is.
LAPD Captain Kinnett was arrested for attempted murder. The trial got underway in April of 1938. The evidence against Kinnett was damning. He had personally purchased the steel pipe used in the bombing. The trial also revealed that
Jesus.
Kinnett had been running Shaw's secret spy squad.
Spy Squad.
Yeah. When Police Chief James Davies took the stand, he defended the intelligence
Just a lot of
program.
sugar for my
When
pie
pressed as to
bakery.
why certain men were surveyed, Davis admitted that some of them were simply, quote, attempting to destroy confidence in the police department, which was presumed a crime worth investigating.
Doesn't.
Why are we spying on them? Because they're okay. So here's the thing: we're spying on them because they're trying to figure out if we're criminals or
They're
not.
public enemy number one.
Look, they're do-gooders,
Yeah.
and we as cops are. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna start that over.
Wait. We're good
Or
people.
Straps Bakery.
Okay, they're bums. Yeah.
No more questions.
Look, I don't like them. That's why we're doing it.
No more questions.
Kinnett was convicted and Davis was disgraced. Clinton demanded that Shaw fire Davis. Shaw refused.
Okay.
Because without Davis, the City Hall / Underworld alliance would fall apart. And so Clifford Clinton went after Shaw himself.
Fuck yes.
The fucking restaurant guy.
Guy.
Under city charter.
Fuck you, Dad.
After they tried to blow up his house, right?
Yeah.
This whole thing is
Fuck you,
Dad.
Daddy. Fuck you, Dad. You didn't hug me. My papa didn't hug me right.
So this podcast is called The Dollop. It's an American history podcast
I'm gonna
that
go to his
is
gravesite
hosted
with
by
3
two
manuals on
comedians,
it.
Dave Anthony and Gareth Reynolds.
Under city charter.
Dave
a ban would be
Anthony
recalled
does
by
all the
gathering enough
research.
signatures
Everything is
and calling
cited
a
and
special
sourced,
election.
so like they have
It had
some
never been
pretty
successfully done before,
insane
not Los Angeles,
podcasts
not
that
in
just make
any
you
major
angry.
American city. Despite the constant
And that's the
police
thing is they
harassment,
usually
Clinton
just
and
kind of
his band
talk about
reformers
corruption in
gathered
America and
120,000
other noteworthy,
signatures
funny things that
to
they
put the
can
recall
kind
on the
of
ballot.
throw a spin on.
Judge Fletcher Bowron defeated Shaw in
Ow.
a landslide.
Wow.
But so
Bowron forced Davis to resign.
it's two
The
comedians.
mayor's brother,
Now,
Joe Shaw,
Dave
was
Anthony
convicted of
knows the
63
topic
counts
and
of
has it
selling
researched and
civil
everything,
service
and Gareth
appointments and
Reynolds
promotions.
has no
DA
idea
Fitz was
about the
defeated in the next
subject.
election.
So
The
it's a
corruption
lot of
triangle
like, oh my
Los
gosh,
Angeles was
are you
destroyed.
freaking kidding
Organized
me?
crime figures
kind of
fled
things. It's
to Las
hilarious.
Vegas in mass.
wow.
Davis died of a stroke at a Montana ranch in 1949. Shaw died of cancer on January 24th, 1958. Clifford Clinton stayed involved with politics, if only at the fringes. He continued to open cafeterias, and he founded Meals for Millions, a nonprofit dedicated toward feeding hungry people all over the world. On November 20th, 1969, Clinton died peacefully in his Los Angeles home. The Clifford Cafeteria remains in Los Angeles. Last year, a man named Ray Richmond came forward to tell the story of his mother. She was a nurse who worked at a chiropractor's office across the street from 20th Century Fox Studios on Pico. Quote, her patients were restricted to males, the therapy largely to the region on and around the genitals. Years later, Mom would boast with some pride that she had, quote, had the penises of more than 5,000 men in her hand during her time as a happy ending masseuse,
Okay.
including those of Mickey Rooney and Richard Crenna, as well as numerous other Hollywood players.
Give it to me.
One day, Clifford came in,
There we go.
and she gave him a tug. And he returned again
Same.
and again.
Same.
Until the two fell in love.
I'm not a big
He failed
American
on for
history
quite some time
fan,
until Clifford's
but
wife
holy
found
fudge,
out-
this
found out.
podcast
She
is
gave him an
hilarious.
ultimatum. Clifford couldn't imagine life without either woman, so he attempted suicide. His wife then said he could continue the affair. And more so, eventually, Clifford, his wife, and his mistress would regularly dine together locally and vacation in Hawaii and Europe. When traveling, they'd get 2 rooms, and Clinton would have play dates in one while sleeping in the other.
Military
Sister
history's
lifestyle.
all right.
His mistress did her part by converting to Christianity and accepting Jesus Christ as her savior. His
Oh
mistress-
yeah, if you're
Yeah.
looking for some reaction.
The War of the Roses is good. The 100 Years War, the 30 Years War.
More.
Yeah, dude.
Keep feeding me.
His mistress began to create what were then known as
Militart.
aids. She created
Marital aids?
custom fruit scented and
So
flavored lotions
this
and lube
this episode we're
that
listening to is
subdivided
actually
Clinton.
part
He insisted
2
she market them to
of
the
the
world
LAPD.
outside of their
So it's
blacklit
about
bedroom.
like how the LAPD
Clinton put the
started
seed money to found what would grow to become a
and
sex aid
notable
empire.
things they did in the process.
What? You
How do you make the
really
paved
were
dirt?
sitting on a golden egg.
Oh
I
yeah, right
really-
click with a shovel.
and that's-
It
this
gets
is-
rid of the
I
topsoil and
admit
it doesn't
this
come
makes me
back.
like him more.
I know it does,
But
that's
it's
the thing.
still
It makes you-
amazing.
yeah, it makes you like him more because he's not this crazy
No.
perfect Christian guy. He's just a
No,
dude.
And he handled it. He just wanted
He's just a
hand
dude
jobs.
who wanted a fucking tug and then fell in love with the tugger.
And then got a great situation cooking.
great, amazing.
It was like, oh, which room key is this? And then he made lubes.
The resulting business made his mistress a comfortable living for decades, generating a string of successful products with names like Joy Gel, Emotion Lotion, Hap Penis, and Penetration H. When Clinton died of a heart attack at 69 on November 20th, 1969, his
Penis.
mistress attended the funeral and then was politely told by the Clinton family never to bother him again, and she didn't.
I heard she got emotionally about
Oh no, that's the thing. Is a lot of the stuff
That
they
is
talk about,
fucking amazing.
it's just a straight up
Jesus
mirror
Christ.
of like stuff that's
story of
currently
the
happening,
LAPD
and they're
and
like,
the,
it would be weird if this
That's
stuff was
great.
happening
That
still.
guy's
Like
awesome.
it's usually the topics they hit are usually based around something relevant that's
He's a
happening.
hero.
So like
Like
last
a
night we were
hand
listening to
job
some of
and
their
then
really
started-
old stuff,
took
and
it
it
on
was about
vacation.
how they related it
While he fed
to
everybody.
when Seth
And he
Rogen came
took
out
down
with The
fucking
Dictator,
the
and
whole
how
city,
North
the whole
Korea
fucking city.
actually has a really weird history when it
He
comes
took
to
down the whole
cinema.
city while feeding everybody,
Yeah.
getting jerked off,
Yeah.
and basically helping invent lube. What don't we owe this guy?
We owe him everything.
Jesus Christ.
I wish this
And
stuff
I'll
would
say
finish
this,
coming down. I'm waiting on
it's-
these ladders up
it's
there.
Probably time for us to have another Clifford Clinton coming around. On a grander
we really
scale.
need one.
Because when you were talking about the stuff about like how how the
Hello,
cops
hole.
they
Where do you
have
go?
to investigate people who are going to speak up. It's just
Yeah.
like that's what it is right now.
Oh yeah, the guy who filmed the Garner getting killed in New York was eventually arrested.
yeah, which is-
and he
What?
said he was being tailed for months.
Yeah.
And they finally put a gun on him and said he had it on him. But he's
Yeah.
like, why would I have a gun if you guys were fucking watching me for
Yeah,
months?
yeah.
There's no way. I knew you were watching me. You were hassling me for months. I wasn't doing anything illegal.
God, I'm
Yeah.
just salivating.
Oh, it
for
wasn't
our
ladders.
Clifford
It was
time.
Oh
the
god, we need a
the
Clifford.
twigs that were up there.
God.
But I think isn't that
Come out
ladders
with a big
right
red
there?
Dog, like an actual.
Well, both would
Yeah.
be
Yeah,
fine.
big red
There's
dog.
one or two
Can't-
right there.
can't- can't
I'm
go
just waiting
wrong
for
with a
those to
big red
decay.
dog.
I agree with that. All right, well that was a dollop. LAPD number 2. LAPD number 2.
That was a
All right.
banger.
Yeah.
Let's go to number 3.
And it's just good.
Boom.
Let me read a story from history to my friend
Gareth Reynolds, who knows nothing about it.
Gary.
I mean, I literally just said Gareth.
God, you want to hit a
I'll
dude?
do one bubble.
People say this is funny.
Not Gary, Gareth. Dave, okay.
Someone or something is tickling people.
This is not fun.
And
This is not going to become the tickling podcast.
You are.
I wish I could figure out which episode was the tickling podcast. Oh wait, I
A
did.
bunch of religious virgins.
Oh, I did, and it was terribly hilarious.
Do what? Pray.
Hi, Gary.
No.
Nicely done, my friend.
Bedtime. What? Why did you just break my light,
I
Straft?
did right after the Gary, then I stopped the recording.
That's bullshit.
You butthole.
Why?
That was my lamp.
You know why.
It works for me.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that it works for you.
Master of the board.
Cool. Well, congratulations. I'm happy for you.
Thanks, Gary.
You must be very happy.
You have any announcements you want to tell people about your other podcast?
Oh yeah, I have another podcast called Point versus Point with my friend Evan Mann, and it's a current events debate show that's very silly, and people should check that out.
There we go.
I'll be in Santa Barbara with Sam Tripoli on January 9th. I might be doing stand-up in England over the holidays.
Really?
I might be. I was talking to Matt Kirshen about...
Matt's gonna set you up.
Well, maybe we'll see. There's a
Generic
comedy
B
club
was
in the
probably
town
definitely my
where-
Really?
favorite, just because
Fucking-
Generic
Very
B is the
excited
guy
if
who
there is one.
got me, doing things.
Yes.
Oh, I have the lantern.
And then
Okay.
I'll be somewhere else.
Where's the town you're going
But
to,
then
you say?
Stowbridge.
definitely
Okay,
tie designs.
Stowbridgers. What's the local football?
I think
club?
I had good chemistry with
I
both
would
of
say
them.
Aston Villa is a good safe bet.
closest?
Yeah.
I will be.
You just wanted to know?
Yeah, I just.
Okay, sure. Sure.
I was hoping it would be something small.
Okay.
Right.
I need to get
What,
diamonds.
like Wigan or something like that?
Because I need to be able to clear this whole hill area here.
The Irons.
Scunthorpe Irons, man. We're gonna get relegated.
Again.
Oh, don't worry about spelling. You should see me
Still.
texting.
So,
Actually, I could
will be,
probably leave.
January 11th at Rendezvous, which I think is a place called the Artesian downtown.
I
on
could
January
probably
11th. On
leave the,
17th. I'll be doing Riot Festival, 2 shows. One without Madrigal.
The hills. I kind of like it.
And the other one's like Who's to Watch or something.
Nothing
like
but
that.
stone tools. No, thank you.
I'm a Who's to Watch.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and then you can just go to DaveAnthonyComedy.com, and that's where the info is.
Poof. Whoa, that one's even taller.
All right,
Los Angeles Police Department,
I'm ready. I'm ready for more.
episode 3
Okay.
of 4.
Now,
LAPD month is halfway. It's over the halfway mark now.
yeah, this is 3, right? Oh, 3
Yeah,
of 4.
3 of
Right.
4.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, there's a
we're
4th
correct.
episode?
Dude,
Yes.
come on, I was trying to help you.
Generic
I
B is
thought you made a
hilarious.
mistake.
That's weird.
What?
Mistakes.
Dude.
August. In August 1966,
Okay.
Charles Joseph Whitman
Whoa!
climbed a
Oh, I'm
tower
stuck.
on the campus of the University of Texas at Austin and shot 47 people, killing 15.
Right.
The incident took place during a 90-minute span, and police officers were not equipped to handle the situation. Local Texans came to the aid of the police, and they shot at the sniper with their own guns,
Pecker fights? Yeah.
giving cops cover to eventually climb
My,
the tower and reach Whitman's position. And
My
kill him.
rooster
Just how you drew
lost.
it
I
up
think
in
I
the,
won one fight
squadron.
and lost the rest.
So you wanted it to work.
And then we'll get Larry over there.
And then we'll be overwhelmed by the situation, and strangers will come and help, and then we'll sneak in. All right? That's
All right,
lunch.
boys, there we go.
That's lunch, guys.
You think people can hear the dog? Is
Oh.
that dog upstairs or down? Is that a downstairs
No, I think he's outside. My guess is he might be downstairs.
He sounds like a German Shepherd.
He's a big dog.
Yeah. So there might be a dog in the background, and
Dang it.
you're welcome. Now there's people yelling.
I don't think you can hear them.
Okay.
I only have
after
3
that,
left.
The Los Angeles Police Department struggled
Shucklebutts.
to deal with rioters during the 1966 Watts riots.
Oh boy.
Officers found that traditional police and riot control tactics were ineffective against the chaotic nature of the mob. Right?
Yeah.
I read that and I was like, so it reminds me of the end of Animal House when all is well and the guy like blowing his whistle.
Yeah, yeah.
And everyone just running around.
Yeah.
That's how I imagine the police.
Yeah. Just not being able to handle that situation at all. It's great too, because you'd think that they would at this point be a little bit better at it, but clearly
Nope. They still had no idea.
still like shit.
They knew something had to change, but they weren't sure what it was.
Okay.
A month after the Watts riots, Officer Ron Mueller of the LAPD was sent to a house on Surrey Street to answer a disturbance call.
Okay.
A man inside, Jack Ray Hoxie, opened the door
Nice name.
And shot Mueller with a high-powered rifle.
Not a nice guy.
Mueller crawled away, badly wounded. Another officer pulled up in his car, and he was immediately shot.
Okay, so officers don't go there anymore.
Right. No.
Nope.
Opposite.
Sorry.
All units respond call went out. Every cop in the area speeded to the house.
Yeah.
By the time Inspector
What do you
Daryl
need to
Gates
show me?
arrived, there were 50 cops there.
'Cause I'm
and
live,
it was
Mom.
total chaos.
Okay.
Hoxie was very well armed, and he was
Yeah,
going
trying to
from
make my
window
own
to window
biome.
shooting at the police.
Jesus.
The cops were responding with hails of inaccurate shots
Good.
because they're all using their pistols and
Yeah.
shotguns like they have nothing. Are you 4 feet close? Are you close?
Show yourself. Wear something reflective.
When a third officer was shot, Gates believed it came from another cop. So they're just completely. If they're surrounding the
Wait,
house,
so
if they're surrounding the house and shooting
Right.
at it,
Some
you could
bullets-
just shoot through the house and shoot another cop, or
Yeah.
just totally miss and shoot another guy in the car.
as the one guy in a house with a bunch of artillery, you are like, this is going pretty fucking well. They are shooting each other, which I was not sure was going to happen.
But it's great.
It's for me. I'm not gonna.
Beyond my wildest dreams at this
I
point.
know this doesn't end well, but I will say it's going pretty good.
By the time tear gas was fired, there were so many holes. Okay, wait. When the third officer, blah blah blah.
All right,
police
Saints.
were
Have a good
firing
night, man.
Slugs from shotguns that were so heavy they were smashing through wooden walls of the house and then through the roof of the house.
Okay.
So by the time the tear gas was
So
fired,
by the time the tear gas is fired,
there were so many holes.
it's just like a cartoon cowboy who got shot a
Right.
bunch and drinks water.
the tear gas was completely ineffective because all the tear gas just went out of the house.
God, this guy really must just be sitting there like, all right, yes, yes.
It's like he's in a cartoon.
They're tear gassing other cops. That's what they've
Stop
done.
it! It's all blowing out.
You're making some of us emotional. Which, by the way, is something I wish that came attached to tear gas.
Oh yeah, emotional.
That it was a weepy thing.
Well, they have tried to make bombs like that make people emotional.
Really?
Yeah. There was
Jesus.
a gay bomb, right? We'll do a small
Okay.
one.
Look, yeah. I mean, you can't just tell me. You can't just say there was a gay bomb, right? No, I don't know that there was a gay bomb.
You're gonna
I thought the gay bomb was when Ricky Martin said he was a homosexual.
What?
Yeah, oh boy.
Oh, we gotta shut down.
Oh boy.
Finally, one cop dressed in low-grade basic body armor had had enough. He smashed through the house and shot Hoxie. Now, that's all it said in everything I read about this incident was that he smashed through the house. Never did it say the door.
Huh?
So the house could have been such Swiss cheese
Ooh.
that this guy just ran through a wall and shot the guy.
Big fan. Big fan of Kool-Aiding the house.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a total Kool-Aid
It's the
move.
cool. That's how you do it. You Kool-Aid the shit out of
He was in
it.
a big picture.
Yeah.
Big, a big
That was
purple
when you say
picture.
body armor, you mean he was in a big picture that made it look
Giant
like he was
picture. And he ran in and smacked to the wall, yelled Kool-Aid, and shot the
Kool-Aid. The guy was like, I love Kool-Aid.
After the incident, Daryl Gates decided the LAPD was going to have to figure out a way to deal with snipers and barricaded criminals besides riddling houses with
Ooh,
bullets.
look at this cool place over
Because,
here.
You know, Texas, it was happening. It was starting
I'm gonna
to-
build a
starting to
castle
happen.
in this area.
The days of the cartoon assault was ending.
Okay.
No more shooting up houses into Swiss cheese.
All right. We're shifting tactics.
Gates decided the LAPD had to come up with some better way to respond, and he sat down with other officers to look at counterinsurgency warfare training and tactics.
Boy, Jesus
like those
Christ.
being developed in Vietnam.
Oh my God.
Right?
Not good.
are you
No,
in?
no,
Are
I'm
you
not in.
in?
No, I'm not in. No.
Do we have to yell Charlie first? What do we do?
So what? So when you make the earlobe necklace, I have a couple questions about lobe jewelry.
Yeah, the best lobe jewelry we have found is South Central. There's some pretty good lobes.
Okay.
Boyle Heights, you get some
Right.
nice lobes.
No, I have a couple of those lobes. Yeah.
And then Echo Park could make some terrific.
Great lobes there. Actually, those lobes are really hot right
Yeah,
now.
I was.
In 1965, Officer John
I was
Nelson
waiting to
came up
get
with the idea
diamonds,
to
so
form a
I
special-
think we need
specially
obsidian
trained
for
and
the
equipped
enchantment
unit
table,
to
right?
respond to and manage critical situations while minimizing police casualties. Inspector Gates approved the idea. It was called SWAT.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
SWAT was originally a term created by the Philadelphia Police Department as an acronym for their Special Weapons and Tactics Squad in 1964.
Okay.
Gates took SWAT, but he wanted it to stand for Special Weapons Attack Team.
Eee.
A deputy on his force said you can't use attack.
Yeah.
Because we're the cops.
Right. Might give the wrong message.
The whole attack thing is not what we're
It's
supposed
aggressive.
to do.
It's aggressive.
And so Gates was like, yeah, that's a good point. So we'll use the other one.
Okay.
Special Weapons. I don't even know what they end up calling it. How do I not know what SWAT is? I didn't put that in here.
Wait.
Special Weapons. Attaboy team.
Yay, team.
I don't have it in either.
Special weapons team.
I never put it in here. I just assumed that I would remember it, but everybody knows my memory is like a.
Your memory's a lot like that guy's house after the assault.
I'm pretty close to Reagan.
Man, I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm excited for the Reagan years of the dollar.
Okay, so they went with it. It's just Special Weapons and Tactics.
Okay.
So it's just they kept the same Philadelphia
Right.
thing. Inspector Gates formed a small select group of volunteer officers. His first SWAT team was born LAPD SWAT, D Platoon of the Metro Division.
Okay.
You down with that?
No, I'm not down with any of this.
Wilshire.
Yeah.
This
so-
SWAT unit was initially 15 teams of 4 men each for a total staff.
Oh,
of
why did I
60.
do that?
Gates and others in the LAPD studied guerrilla warfare tactics of the military. SWAT officers were given special status and benefits, but in return, they had to attend monthly meetings.
Okay.
So
But
that's
yeah, it's not. No, it's not good. Don't nod at
it's
me
all
like we're
good.
homies.
It's all good. We're
It's not
working-
all good.
We're working shit out.
No. It's no. The second that you're going to when you. I mean, it's just not surprising that recently we saw our police force militarized based on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, you do. We talked about Ferguson. We did a whole fucking thing on it.
The officers trained with the Marine Corps at Camp Pendleton and other military experts was brought in to teach SWAT how to deal with sniper fire. Which, just watch TV. What do you mean how to deal with sniper fire? You just get in another position and you shoot the sniper.
You sniper. You bring a
Sniper
fucking
back.
sniper to. Yeah, you sniper back. Exactly.
You re-sniper the sniper.
Yes, you sniper back at the sniper.
There's not a lot of hide, don't get shot, don't run out in the circle.
Look, so what? It's a waiting game.
It is
Wait a
waiting
Wait a
game.
little time.
Crawl into place.
Yeah. I mean, that's how they shot Planet Earth.
Make a perimeter.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
That's how they shot Planet Earth. Sometimes you'd have to hunker down for 3 months to get the right shot. You know?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm doing a dollop about it. Right now, inside your dollop.
They also bought heavy weapons. One of the things the LAPD considered buying was a 20-ton armor personnel carrier that could be equipped with a 30 cal machine gun, tear gas, and grenade launchers, but unfortunately the LAPD couldn't afford the $35,000 price tag.
I'm glad the reasoning is that it was too pricey.
It's the fact
Hey,
that
chainmail.
that
Moral
it's
compass.
completely insane.
Yeah, no.
Hey, you know what? We had this house.
Hey, maybe next
Hear me
year.
out. Hear me out. There's a guy in a house, and
Uh-huh.
he killed it. He shot a couple cops, and then we were all trying to get him.
Yeah.
I was thinking it'd be better if we had grenade launchers
Well, no.
and just a big
Shit.
machine gun that could cut like a roof off a house.
No. No to those.
Okay, so we're getting that.
We're not getting that.
Okay, that's it.
Nope.
The order's in.
Feels like you're not listening.
The first
Shut
SWAT
that door.
cops. Hear about this? The first SWAT cops were treated poorly by regular LAPD officers. Here's a quote from Gates. For a long time, they were treated as persona non grata within the department. That SWAT operates like a quasi-militaristic operation offended some of the brass. I tried to explain the difference. Whereas the military will go in with bazookas and blow the place apart, SWAT's main objective is to always get everyone safely out. If anyone gets injured or killed, the operation is a failure. I pointed that out to no avail. Banished from everyday police circles, we kept our training secret.
Whoa. That's crazy. But
Okay, so this goes to your point. The cops back then knew there was something wrong with SWAT.
yeah.
And eventually, over time, it became ingrained within
Yeah.
the police thinking, and then they acquiesced and allowed it to become part of the thing.
Well,
but
and-
originally, the cops were against it because they knew it was fucked up.
And now, arguably, my guess is that cops want to be SWAT.
All wanna be
yeah,
SWAT.
like that. You're
They
like
wanna
the,
kick in doors.
You pine for that position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that no one would talk to him. Oh, you fucking SWATty.
Hey, SWAT. Okay, hold my towel, SWAT.
Here comes SWAT.
Yeah.
How you doing? Get over here. I'm gonna put your head in the toilet.
My name's Michael.
Okay, SWAT.
God damn it.
What are you gonna do? Are you gonna do blow my door off?
No,
You big tough guy with your tank or whatever?
we don't have a tank. We can afford it.
Yeah. We do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, I know. We
beat
worked
up-
together
we
for 2
beat up
years.
Black people
Yeah, I'm aware of what
on
you.
the streets.
I know that you're a
Like the way you're
respectable.
supposed to do when you're a cop.
Back in my day, we just had to beat up black people.
We would just go out and say, "Where are the Browns?"
Yeah.
And now you're kicking in doors and blowing things up.
It's a little
fucking
too.
up everything.
It's a little too technological.
Okay. So it sounds great, right?
Yeah,
So far it
sounds
sounds
good.
great. The other cops hate you, and you're training secretly. It
Yes.
all sounds perfect.
Yes, nice.
Now, shit with the Black Panthers was on at this point.
Boy, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fan of our new plot that's just entered.
The Black Panther Party, or the BPP, originally known as the Black Party Panther for Self-Defense, was a revolutionary black nationalist and socialist organization active in the U.S. from 1966 until 1982. Initially, the Black Panther Party used armed citizen patrols to monitor the behavior of police officers and challenge police brutality.
Wow.
Okay, why'd you go away?
Yeah, I
No,
mean,
seriously. How is this not coming back right
I
now?
know, yeah.
If someone, if they don't think this isn't being talked about, they're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if we see Black Panthers come back.
I'm into it.
And I love cats of all kinds.
Oh, love them.
Especially, I like an all
I've
black
always
cat.
enjoyed petting panthers. When you get a panther purring, there's nothing like that.
Oh my god.
Nothing like.
So loud, so pretty. And then they eat your hand.
And then they just eat your closest baby.
In 1969, community social programs became a main activity of party members. The Black Panther Party instituted a variety of community social programs, most extensively the free breakfast for children's programs, and community health
Savages.
clinics. So now they start upping their game a little bit. Now everyone's getting. It's not just about walking around with guns. Now it's like,
Yep.
you know,
There's
they're stepping
outreach.
up. So now,
Yep.
yeah, this is when people get really upset when you start doing it.
Well, yeah, you can't be giving free meals. We've learned that very recently with our boy Clifford.
The FBI director, J. Edgar Hoover, called the party the greatest threat to the internal security of the country.
Right. While he wore a dress.
Right?
So
And he used to fuck his assistant, right? Was that his deal?
I don't
or was
know.
he just a crossdresser?
I thought he was just a cross-dresser, but who knows? Regardless,
hard to
it- yeah. Regardless, I mean, it's just great that at the end of the day, the guy who's legislating a lot of what is and what isn't acceptable was secretly putting on women's clothing
Yeah, of
behind
course.
closed doors in his office.
Well, he was righteous.
Yep.
Hoover supervised an extensive program of surveillance, infiltration, perjury, police harassment, and many other tactics designed to undermine Panther leadership.
Wait, he used those charges against the Black
used all-
Panthers.
that was the program, the FBI program.
Right.
All right, Franz.
Infiltration.
I'm
perjury,
actually going to leave the server up,
harassment,
but I'm going to
and
go
other
take a
tactics
short
to undermine
nap.
Panther leadership.
Nice
So
guy.
those of you who
Incriminate
are
party
playing
members,
on it, you can keep
discredit
playing.
and
But I'm
criminalize the
gonna
party,
go
and
take like a
drain the
half-hour
organization
nap
of
or
resources
something.
and manpower.
I worked
Yeah.
all day with an early shift.
The program was also accused
So,
of using
nap
assassination
time.
against Black Panther members.
Oh, good.
Chris, if you
Interesting.
want
You're
to
drawing
build
the
a
strategy.
library,
a great country.
Yeah, great.
build a
country full of good
library, and we'll
people
put the enchantment
who
table
really
in it.
are looking for resolution, not just the quickest answer.
On December 4th, 1969, Fred Hampton of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panthers was asleep in a Chicago home when he was shot and killed at point-blank range during a gun raid by the Chicago Police Department.
Who kills someone? Like a gun raid where you shoot a person sleeping feels like
Point blank?
Point blank feels like we're a little off